And I've just finished on a coaching call where I was working with a client who was really struggling to get focused work done. She has limited amount of time because she's a single mom. She's running a business. The kids, you know, it's like, you're like, I've got 9 till 3. You don't. You have like 9:30 till 2:30. Plus you need to have some food. And at some stage you got to do some house stuff. And so she was really struggling to get stuff done because when she sat down to do her work, she was getting really distracted. And so we always start, when this stuff happens, we start what's going on in the environment before we look at everything else. Because what starts to happen is we start to go, oh, it's my mindset, and oh, I'm procrastinating, and all of that stuff is hard to fix. Whereas your environment actually comes before your mindset, and we can actually often fix these sorts of things with your environmental changes. And so what we wanted to do is look and go, what are the things that you are spending your time on in your environment? So for example, if you are working from home and you are distracted by the washing that needs putting away, or you're distracted by the dishes that need doing, we would remove that or shift you into a different part of the house to do your work so that those weren't distractions. For this particular client, her phone was a distraction, and she wasn't using it for work. She was just using it to scroll. So even though we do need to use our phones for business sometimes, it can be really easy to go down the rabbit hole of just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Why? Because it's designed to do that. Like, it's intentionally designed to do that. So how did we take that out of her environment? She still needs to have her phone in case something goes wrong at the kids' school and they can call her, but it needs to be hard for her to access. So we used her environment to do that. This particular client happens to be not very tall. And so we took a chair and we climbed up and we put the phone right up on the top of a cupboard where she could still get it if it rang and call the number back, but it was hard. So it meant she had to go and get a chair, and she had to drag it over from the table, and she had to climb up on it, and she had to get her phone. So that meant that instead of it being her instant thing that she was going to when she got bored or distracted or irritated by what she was working on, she could be like, okay, instead I'm going to get up, I'm going to have a glass of water, I'm going to walk around the house or around the block, and then come back and sit down at my desk and get refocused again without getting drawn into that trap of going down the doom scrolling list. And so by just putting in a really simple system like that, she won back hours every day, and all of a sudden she was smashing through her client work and getting things done, and she was even managing to find some time to sit and relax for herself before the kids came